Hi everyone, Katarina here. Welcome back to my channel for another lovely Christmas make. Today we are going to make a bauble card. For my card base I use these circle dies from 2 Red Robins, and the largest die in this set measures 6 inches across, and that's what I used to cut my card base out, 2 pieces of whites. And for the next size down, I cut out one of white, which measured 5 3/4, and I edged it just with a very light blue marker, so just to separate it from the back a little bit. I'm going to glue this on top of my card base. Before adding a score line to this, I'm going to let the coral glue just set for a little while, because it takes a little while to dry. So this is another 6-inch one, and this is 5 3/4, and I used this paper pad which came with one of the creative stamping magazines lately, the one that had the snowman stamp in it. I'm not sure what number, what issue it was. And I edged that pattern paper with my crystalline glitter just to add a little bit of a sparkle all around. Using my coral glue, attached it or glued it on top of my card front. And now I just have to create my card base. To do that, I'm going to take the back part of my card and I'm going to score down anywhere at all at 1 inch. And I like to do this on both sides. So I'm just lining it back up into the same groove, and I'm just scoring it from the other side as well. I'm going to gently fold it because there's 2 layers, remember. I'm going to add this time my quick grab glue. I just want this to start holding up real nice and strong, and this is an acrylic glue, so I know that it will hold very, very strong. This is the one from Cosmic Shimmer, which is one of my favorite go-to glues to use. So I'm just making sure that the glue is spread out properly. And this is how the card would stand up. It stands up nicely, but it does rock because it's a circle, obviously. So I just want to add a little bit of a straight edge to the back part of my card. I'm just taking a little smidge off, just so there's a bit of a straight edge there, and now it should stand up properly. If it wasn't on a glass mat, obviously on a different surface, it stands up perfectly. In here, I realized that I forgot to stamp my sentiment before gluing it all together. So I had no other choice than to go and start doing it now and hope for the best. So I chose from Chloe's Sentiment Verses, one that says, "May your days be merry and bright this Christmas season and throughout the new year." Now, I really didn't want to mess this up, so I'm going to stamp this off a couple of times just on a scrap piece of paper to make sure I get a proper good imprint. I want to heat emboss this with silver, polished silver embossing powder, but I'm going to stamp it with the black VersaFine because it's just easier to see. I really don't want to mess this up. So I'm using my anti-static powder. If I was using my Versa marking, I might not be able to see properly where I stamped or I didn't. So, although it doesn't really matter because I can't restamp, but anyway, I just felt more confident using the black ink in here. And because the silver embossing powder is opaque anyway, it is going to give me the perfect coverage in here. So I'm just making sure I gave it enough time for that ink to transfer onto my cardstock, and it looks pretty good. I got excited in here. So yay, I didn't mess it up. I thought I was going to have to do it on a piece of cardstock and glue it on top of this one, but no, it worked out absolutely perfect. So I'm just going to heat set it with my heat tool. And just look how lovely and shiny that is. Now, because I was heat embossing it or heat setting it on the cardstock, there's a little bit of a warping. That's why I prefer to do it beforehand and then glue the layer on top of the backing, but I completely forgot about it at the start. So I'm just playing with it a little bit until I get it real nice and straight again. And to be honest, it turns out fine. By the time I'm finished with the card, it will sit perfectly straight. Now I just clean up my stamp and put it back before I lose it on the mess on my table now. I have prepared several different things to decorate my card with. So one of these is these gorgeous flowers. The flower stamp that I stamped this with is from the latest box kit from Chloe's Creative Cards, and it's a lovely flower. I heat embossed them on vellum using white opaque bright embossing powder by Wow. And I decided to color them from underneath using my new favorite tricolor brush pens from Spectrum Noir. They're just so gorgeous. And the set that I used, or the trio that I used for this one, is the Warm and Fiery blend, which is fuchsia, satsuma, and vanilla. So I went from darkest to lightest towards the other edge, and they are gorgeous. Just look when I put it against the white. It's just such gorgeous colors. I really, really love the whole set, the whole box. I've been using them, and they are just amazing. Then I pinched the middle of my petal within the tweezer blades and just twisted it towards me. With my fine tip glue pen, a glue bottle, I just added little dots and lines of glue and dipped it in my Crystallina. Now, when you first do this, it's still very much white and the glue needs to dry, and it will dry. Just look how lovely and sparkly that is, although these are still not fully dried, but I will include footage at the end of this video where you will see just how gorgeous and sparkly that is once the glue dries back completely clear. I added 3 of these apricot or orangey color of the largest little flat back pearls in the middle of each flower. Now for my Christmas branches, I used from the Christmas branch stamp and die set. I stamped them on heat resistant acetate using Hollywood Hills embossing glitter. And then I went back with my fine tip glue bottle. I said the glue pen nearly again. With the glue bottle, and I just added the Stardust green glitter on top, which is such a gorgeous glitter. So I've cut all of these down, all of the branches, to half size because the longest ones were just too long for this size of card, but they are so easy separated into all different sizes that you want. For the holly that you can see there on my screen now, I used another stamp set from Chloe's Creative Cards, and that one was the Candy Cane stamp and die set, and I colored them in again with one of those brush markers, and I think this one was the Twilight Sky. Yeah, it was that one. And the same as I used for the flowers, I used for the little berries there, and I also dipped the berries in a little bit of a Crystallina. And the glue has already dried back on them nicely, so the whiteness is all away. I just love how it looks. The next stamp is this Peppermint Candy Spray from Chloe's Classics Volume 2 Ice Skate and Mittens stamp set. And I didn't want the peppermint detail on it, so I just added flat back pearls, just little white pearls on every single one of those dots. I love making these embellishments. I think they show so nice on cards. I actually have an upcoming video where I use that same one. Those cards are really beautiful too. Just wait and see. I'll share them in a couple of days. Okay, so in here I'm just getting everything ready that I have prepared for this card. And for the sentiment, I use this Sparkle Sentiment Builder stamp and die set. I've cut out the word sparkle twice from white cardstock, which you can see in there. I've layered them on top of each other, but I want to add color to this. So to do that, I took a piece of scrap cardstock, and with that same brush marker that I colored the flowers in, I just added kind of an ombre scribble in there. Just covered large enough of an area so I can cut out my word sparkle from it, and this will match the color of the flowers, obviously, because it will have the exact same ombre effect. And once I had it cut, I'm just going to layer it on top of the white die cuts in there. And by the way, this card was inspired by a Fancy Fold Craft Challenge. It is a group run by Monica aka Paper Mona on Facebook. I will link to it in the description box below. So Monica, and then Monica Crafting with Quilling Lady, and Christine from Christine Cards and Things, every month come in and share a different fun fold or fancy fold card or project. And this month, it is the challenge is to create a Christmas Bauble card. And I thought it was such a wonderful idea. So that's what I'm doing in here. And I will post that in the Facebook group as well. Also, if you create a Bauble card, just use a hashtag FFC challenge. And you'll find the details in the description box below in here if you are interested. So once I have all that sentiment layered up in there, I'm going to dip this in my Versamark ink pad. And I'm going to sprinkle clear sparkle embossing powder in it. It will keep the colors as they are, but will add some gorgeous shine and sparkle to it. I love heat embossing sentiments, especially some fine letter cuts like this, because it makes them so sturdy and so amazing, almost like plasticky. I love doing this. I haven't done this in a while on my cards, and it's just such a gorgeous one. The clear sparkle embossing powder is one of the few embossing powders that I have to keep rebuying because I just use so many of these. Embossing powders generally last me a long time, but the clear gloss and the clear sparkle I can never have enough of. And lately I've been using quite a lot of white ones as well, so I might need to stock up on some white embossing powder in the new year too. So in here, before adding my flowers and all the decorations, I want to see where will there be enough room for my sentiment to go on before adding all the flowers, because the way I had them arranged first, there would have been not enough room for that word sparkle. And the sub sentiment from the same sentiment stamp set, which says this the season, I think, was it this the season too, and then sparkle with the large words. Yeah, so I stamped this the season too just with black ink, and I've cut around it just with my scissors, and I added that sub sentiment on a foam pad. In here I'm just making sure that I'm gluing it on straight, so when the card stands up it's sitting straight on the bottom of my card. And then I'm gonna come in and I'm just going to use my hot glue to add all my embellishments. The only thing I forgot to mention is this little bauble topper and the little bow that I have cut out using a die set which came in one of the Simply Cards and Paper Crafts magazines quite a while ago. It was last year's edition. So it's a bit small, but I thought it looked so cute. I was thinking of cutting out a bigger one with my silhouette die cutting machine, but I loved how it looked in there. It's just so cute. Now I didn't end up using the bow, just the topper, and I let you watch me decorate now. And this is it, the cards ready and finished, and I'm recording this video in the middle of the night, so I will wait until tomorrow and then I will take some close-up pictures and I will add them at the very end of this video. I really hope you like this card, and if you did like today's tutorial, please do not forget to give me the thumbs up and leave me a comment. Consider subscribing to my channel if you haven't yet done so, and hit the notification bell to make sure you will not miss out on any of my future videos. Go over to the Facebook group to check out all the lovely fancy fold cards that are in there, posted by all the different people. They are just wonderful. Links in the description box below. I thank you for your time to spend this time here with me today, and I will be back very soon with another tutorial. I hope to see you then. Bye!